Hello and welcome to The Stinger, a superfan's guide to Marvel, Star Wars, and much, much more in fandom entertainment. I'm Josh Gann. Joining me today, as always, two of your favorite co-hosts. They came here, they pulled up their beach chairs, and it's all vibes today. It's Trent, Neely, and Joseph Snead. How we doing, guys?
It's summertime, it's insanely hot, and when it's insanely hot, you want to watch movies. So,
Yes.
Yep, it is. Or today the high was 99, and tomorrow the high is 99, and Wednesday we're cooling off to a high of 97.
It's brutal out here. Trent and I were commiserating over it before we started recording. It's just like I was saying, like, living in Richmond, Virginia, I didn't know Richmond got as hot as it did. And then I compare it to all the other places that I used to live in Virginia in the weather app, and I've internally feel angry that I'm like, why is this my life? How did this happen? How is it cooler in Virginia Beach than it is in Richmond, Virginia? I don't get it. Anyways, it's summertime. We're happy to be here, if you can't tell.
Yep.
We are here to talk summer movies. Super, super excited for our episode today, but we'll get some housekeeping priorities out of the way. As always, thank you for listening to today's episode. You can subscribe to us wherever you get your podcast. You can subscribe to us on YouTube. You can follow us on social media at The Stinger Pod. And you can just keep up to date with us with what we got going the rest of the summer. We have some really fun content coming the way because today, obviously, we have our summer movie draft, which we will explain in just a moment. In a couple weeks, Deadpool and Wolverine finally makes its way to theaters. We were just talking about it. I want to check in with you guys actually before we get started. Like, if we had to rank your expectations of how good this movie is going to be on like a scale of 1 to 10, where are we at right now with Deadpool and Wolverine?
I'm feeling and hoping for at least a 7. Like that to me
Okay.
is I'm like, if it's a good time with a couple of really good jokes and some fun action sequences, I will call that a win. And then the cameo-ness of it all is both what I'm excited for and kind of nervous about at the same time. I'm worried about the actual plot of this movie, but I think it'll be a good hang regardless.
Yeah, I think I'm in the same spot as Trent. Like, I'm looking for a 7. Like, Marvel movies have been, Marvel projects in general have been kind of struggling for a little bit now. So I think it's going to be fine. And if nothing else, after 24 years, we get the yellow suit.
That's right.
So
That's right. That's what it's all about, man.
If the movie stinks and the yellow suit gets some cool action sequences, I won't be okay with it, but I probably won't feel like I wasted my time.
Yeah. I'm kind of at the point where I'm creeping more into like a 8, maybe 9 territory where I'm like, the stuff I'm hearing about this movie is unanimously everyone has really enjoyed what they've seen. And that's rare. I don't know. This is the other thing. It's like, can we trust people anymore in the media about these Marvel movies? I don't know. We've been lied to before. Everyone lied to us about The Flash last year. Not a Marvel movie, but everyone lied to us about The Flash. And so, I don't know. Are we getting ourselves in a similar situation here? I don't know. Maybe you guys don't pay attention to the little mini reviews that come out 2 weeks ahead of time, but I don't know why. I've been tracking it this time.
Well, I heard that for this one, they did a weird thing where they showed the first 30 minutes to people.
Yes.
I forget where it was. Yep. But people have said they're everybody's okay, this actually will revitalize the MCU, which is that's higher than praise. That's just guys, they did it. They saved themselves. And I'm like, we'll see.
Which is I wasn't ready to have that conversation like this movie needs to save the MCU. I'm just hoping it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, any moderately okay movie now is the one that saves movie theaters. And then a bomb is movie theaters are dead.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just a weird cycle where it's kind of we just need to hang out a little bit.
I think so too. It's actually a great, the great segue for our topic today. Talking about summer movies, because let's just be real, the summer movie 2024 box office has been a roller coaster ride. We We've had we got Deadpool and Wolverine coming up this year. That has big box office potential there. And then we had Inside Out go crazy. I don't know if you guys are hype about Twisters. Me personally, I'm getting myself there where I think I might be excited about Twisters, plural
Of
Twisters.
course, Glenn Powell. The Glenn Powell year continues.
The Glenergy rages on. And so
Yeah, no. Emily and I are going on Thursday night because that's the only time she could go. So
Oh,
we're
for real?
going premiere night. Yeah,
Premiere night. Oh, I can't wait to hear what you think. That's awesome.
yeah. I'm excited.
That's awesome. But summer movies are back for a week until they're not, and it's just like we have a lot of history now to talk about kind of what this year has been with summer movies. The movie theater business is just, it's reeling until it's not. But today we are drafting from just our favorite summer movies from across history. And when I say that, it doesn't necessarily have to be a blockbuster, draw in the summertime that we're talking about. It's going to be open to interpretation for us today. So I thought I would ask each of you before we get started, what does a summer movie, what are the criteria for you to make something a summer movie?
So for me, I mean, obviously the first one is like it's set during the summertime is like the main thing. But really for me, it's just like it has to like be hot. Like the environment has to be warm and like people have to be doing sort of things that they do in the summertime activities, even if that's not literally when it's set. Like I don't want to give away anybody's drafting thing, but like Maverick is like not a movie that's explicitly set during the summer, but that is a summer movie. People are playing football on a beach. Everybody's glistening and sweaty in plane cockpits. Like that is as summer vibes as it gets, even if it's not set during the summer.
Fun.
Just anything that's fun. That also is on my list.
Awesome. What a great juxtaposition.
That's a much better answer than mine, actually.
Just make it fun.
No, yours went into a lot more detail than mine. I'm just like, I want to see a popcorn flick in the summer.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Get your popcorn, get your drinks, sit down. If you got to go to the bathroom, you're probably not going to miss something insanely important.
That's true.
But
I like how you labeled that, Joseph, a popcorn flick. This is kind of what I feel like I grew up on was popcorn flicks. You go like you were saying earlier, Trent. It's a really hot day. There's nothing. You can't do anything outside. So what are we gonna do? We're gonna pack the family up. We're gonna go to the movie theater to watch the latest MCU release or something else. Like that is summer. I genuinely. Like, when you talk about, like, what's your favorite month of the year, July is very high up there for me simply because I know, like, these are when the most fun movies come out,
Mm-hmm.
Like, you look back across time and, like, everyone is gunning for the, like, second to fourth week of July release date frame these days. You know what I mean? We had, Mission Impossible last year was in this range. Barbenheimer was in this range last year. We're seeing it now. Twisters and Deadpool Wolverine. Like the popcorn flick is probably more attuned to what I remember growing up and what I feel like I classify as a summer movie now. But there's still a valid point for a movie that takes place in the summer probably should count as a summer movie. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. Is there anything thematically that makes a summer movie a summer movie?
I think a lot of the ones that tie them together, where for the ones that are set during summer, especially, it's just like it's about people hanging out,
Yeah.
In a place, just like whether it's at a beach or just doing stuff outside, playing baseball,
Yes.
like stuff like that. Like it's just a good hangout usually happens, or like people are hanging out like on front steps in like a city sidewalk, something like that. Like,
Yeah.
so I think that's really the thing. It's just like hanging out with a group of people because during the summer you're not as busy with other life activities, usually, at least in movie realm.
yeah, I mean, I think I'd agree with that. It's people having fun together, and so
Yeah, I feel like I was doing some research for this draft, as I always do, but I think I went deeper this time. And some other things that pop up. I'm gonna try not to give away any of my draft board, but coming of age stories. You think about like
Mm.
summer vacation. What does that mean when you're in high school and becoming a young adult? Little
There's
like
104 days of summer vacation.
I've heard that before somewhere. I wonder where that could be. Um, Summer fling romances, very very prevalent theme of summer movies. No consequences until there are consequences, and it's I
Aunt May and Happy Hogan.
that oh my gosh, great point.
Great
One of
pick.
the greatest summer flings of all time. Still don't understand how that happened, but maybe we'll learn one day. All right, I think we can safely start
Well, I
this
mean,
draft.
she's dead, so
Dang, Joseph, that's tough.
Coming for Aunt May.
Yeah, off the top ropes. We weren't expecting to dunk on Aunt May today, but we did. I think we can start this draft. Trent, you have a random draft order generator
I do.
locked and loaded. Why don't you spin that wheel and see who's drafting first?
So first, it will be Joseph.
All right. Who, Mike? Is that 2 drafts in a row for Joseph? Oh my gosh, what is happening?
I think so. And then Josh, you are following Joseph.
Okay. All
and
right.
then I am completing the snake in this draft.
Okay. All right. Interesting. Right in the middle. I don't know how I feel about that. But I think we're gonna make this work. Trent, I don't know. I'm already, my gears are already spinning in my head. I'm just like, I don't want to. I feel like I am doing the analysis again of what is on each of your boards, and I can't pick before Joseph, but I can pick before you, Trent. So
yes, you can. You can ruin my day.
I'm a little worried to ruin someone's day today. Joseph, you are first though. Big responsibility here for you. I'm curious what you do with this monumental choice that you have weighing in front of you. Do you think you know what you're going with as your number 1 overall pick in the draft?
Yep. I'm going to ruin Trent's day.
Yeah.
You can't have it, Trent. I'm not letting you have it, and I know it's not going to be around. So give me Top Gun Maverick.
Oh, not actually what I thought. Okay, interesting.
Nope.
All right, explain, Joseph.
I think this is like the quintessential modern summer movie.
Yep.
Like, the story is not that deep, like the enemy they're going after. But like Trent was saying, they're all playing volleyball on the beach. They're flying airplanes. Go find me a person that doesn't like airplanes, and I'll find you a stupid person. And airplanes are just cool.
They are.
Tom Cruise is doing his thing. It's a fun movie. And I haven't met a single person that didn't love this movie.
Correct.
So this is not my favorite summer movie.
Okay.
But it's not going to be around for my next pick, I don't think. So I had to take it.
I think that's a correct assessment. It would not be around. Trent, are you okay?
Yeah, no, I'm okay. Because believe it or not, this was on my board, but it's actually not as high as other things on my draft.
Really?
Board. Yes.
Interesting. So I just rewatched this on the 4th of July. Never felt more patriotic in my life,
Yes.
It was a great time. You talk about just playing volleyball on the beach. It's they're right there on that island. Also, something we need to talk about from that movie is reverse football, whatever they call it. That is
dogfight football.
Dogfight football. That's what it is. Still one of the scariest games I've ever seen. That is
it kind of stresses me out every time they show the big shot of all of them just running around.
Yes. That is a concussion waiting to happen. Especially on the beach in the sand, I still haven't figured out dogfight football. If anyone can explain it to me out there, please, I would love someone to do that. But this movie is fantastic. Top Gun Maverick is just there's something so simple about it, but yet I was trying to figure this out when I was watching it. Why is it that this movie is the one that seemed to have brought back the summer blockbuster of yesterday. Like where when blockbusters became superhero movies, like Top Gun Maverick, 10 years after superheroes started to take over, comes out and like revitalizes summer blockbusters. And I'm like, why is
Mm-hmm.
that? And I'm just like,
Well,
yeah, go ahead, Joseph.
so so what era do you look at and say peak of summer blockbusters?
90s,
Yeah, I was gonna
probably.
say 90s. Yeah,
I would said like 80s, but 90s, but it's a throwback to those.
Yeah.
yeah,
It's like a because I mean it's a sequel to Top Gun, which was an 80s movie. It's an 80s movie packaged as a modern movie.
yeah,
Exactly.
yeah, yeah.
So you have that like 80s vibe, but it looks awesome.
Exactly.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Like they literally remake Top Gun in a lot of ways. Like there's a parallel scene from Maverick to the original, but it's like, hey, instead of just a remake of this and it's fun, what if we made it like thematically complex and we made the characters have issues and like Maverick has grown as a person and it's a movie that actually acknowledges that Tom Cruise has aged in a
Yeah.
very like nuanced, respectful way. Like he has regrets and wishes he was a better parent. This is also a great Father's Day movie. I've learned over many rewatches.
Ooh, yes.
Um,
Uh-huh.
so yeah, I've seen this movie like 17 times at this point. Still not sick of it. Still gonna watch it like another 40, 100 times probably before
Gonna
I
watch it
die.
tonight.
Gonna watch it tonight and tomorrow.
It's great. I think yeah, that
Oh, the
style of
soundtrack too.
the soundtrack is
Soundtrack's
great.
great.
Soundtrack is great. That style of movie making where, the characters really matter, and even though the motivations are really simple, you care about them so much. But the fact that they're able to make those dogfights and the final mission run at the end look as real as they do, I still don't understand. It's one of the most
Yeah.
mind-blowing things to me, that how they made this movie. um
Yep.
it's really, really cool. Great movie. Great choice, Joseph. All right, so I am up on the clock, and I gotta be real. I am I'm picking before Trent again. I'm sensing blood in the water, and I think I know that this is high on Trent's list, but I'm gonna take it anyway because I couldn't possibly leave this movie on the board if it was there for me at number one, and that's why I am picking Jaws.
Yep, it has to be.
I think honestly, maybe this is the original summer popcorn flick.
It is.
Yeah.
It along with Star Wars created the term and the phenomenon of a blockbuster.
Yeah, that's right. Yes, exactly.
So yeah, this has to be the like one of the first ones off the board.
It absolutely has to be. I remember watching this for the first time, like kind of young, and there's certain things whereas like as a young kid, I've been exposed to the CGI of the prequels and stuff like that, and been like amazed by pod racers, and there's certain moments in Jaws where I'm like, oh, that was supposed to scare me, like the animatronic shark whenever they were able to use it, and I'm like, what? I don't understand. But going back to it, like since that moment of my childhood, and realizing just how brilliant this movie is, and what Spielberg had to do to create this masterpiece with limited technology at the time. It's something else I love about what you can qualify as a summer blockbuster movie is just the kind of thriller category. And I don't know if we necessarily call Jaws a thriller, but it's close enough to me where I'm like, it is perfect, because I can remember hearing I can remember stories my dad telling of like what Jaws was like in the theater, or even my grandfather telling me stories of what it was like in the theater, and like people freaking out in the theater when this movie came out, because they had never seen anything like it, because the way this movie was shot, the camera, basically being the fill-in for Jaws for the shark, just had people on the edge of their seats because they hadn't seen anything like it. I think that's what makes this such a like special pick, is the inventiveness of Jaws, just the way it really like started a new chain of events in movie making history. You know, like
Mhm.
it is it is one of one, and I haven't watched it in a while, and I'm like, I think I need to go back and watch it really soon because like the moments I remember that stick out into my head are still there, and they're just incredibly well crafted.
Yeah.
Trent, I feel like I really want you to just ISO right here. Tell me how you feel about Jaws.
No, I mean it's probably, if I had to make a narrow list of like truly my top 10 movies of all time, like this is on the list.
Yeah,
Um,
that's
it's
crazy.
it's it's just perfect in every way. I actually had the pleasure of seeing this at my local theater a couple weeks ago, and
Oh,
so
really?
finally seeing it on the big screen
Oh, that's so cool.
was incredible. Like seeing it, like sort of what you were saying, Josh, as a kid or watching it just on cable, you're like, okay, this is scary, kind of, but I kind of don't get it. And then when you watch it on the big screen with like surround sound, and you're like, oh, I get it.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
everything from the Quint's Indianapolis speech to the end
yeah,
is like, oh, this is like just perfect filmmaking from somebody who's just starting their career at this
yeah.
point. Um, yeah, no, it's incredible. I mean, the movie was insane. It created the summer blockbuster. It was the first movie that instead of filming in a tank on a studio lot for the ocean, they just actually filmed on the ocean. That's a huge part of it. Um, the POV stuff of the shark, obviously, because the actual mechanical shark rarely worked. That's just become an amazing part of Hollywood mythology.
Yeah.
John Williams' score sells the whole thing. Every performance is just perfect. Also, that movie's like deceptively funnier than people remember. Like, there's so many little jokes between like Hooper and Brody and Quint that like, yeah, the whole thing is just amazing. This was going to be my first pick, so you were wise to take it off the board.
I knew it. I knew it. Yeah. It's an
So,
incredible movie. Joseph, go for it.
so I didn't actually see Jaws until like a few years ago,
Oh, really?
and so I watched it as like pretty much a fully formed adult, and was like, "This movie's amazing."
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, Now I did know the thing because I feel like maybe not anymore, but most people, I think, before the last like 10 or so years, could hear those first two notes and just
Mhm.
think shark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're like everybody when I was a little kid at the pool, when you hear like dun, like, oh, someone's playing the shark in the water.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it's so iconic that, I mean, yeah, that's what you immediately think of. It's almost more effective than like the Star Wars music because
Yeah.
you can think
Yeah.
of a lot of different things with Star Wars. With the two notes in Jaws, you're like shark.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
just your brain is hardwired now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I love the trivia that comes with this movie too. Like I'm pretty sure because like, Jaws was a legendary film by the time we were kids growing up. And so I feel like, correct me if I'm wrong, but if either of you know this, but I'm pretty sure that Bruce the Shark in Finding Nemo got his name from the name of the animatronic shark when they were
Correct.
filming Jaws. Yep. And I'm just like,
Correct. They
that's
named
like,
they named it after one of the producers on Jaws, to be
that's
funny.
okay.
'Cause he
Yes.
was like he
Yes.
was like extra like brutal and harsh, and so they were
Yes.
like, okay, well obviously we know what we're
Bruce it is.
calling the mechanical shark.
Yeah.
yeah.
And
It seems like filming Jaws was pretty much a nightmare for
yeah.
like everyone.
Yeah. Which makes it
I don't know.
all the more miraculous that, it is what it is.
Yeah, I don't know of like anybody that would say like, "Oh yeah, I actually enjoyed my time on Jaws."
No, it sounded like it was intense, and like the script was changing a lot
Yeah.
because there's like
Yeah.
big differences from the book. Like Brody's wife and Hooper have an affair in the book, which
Yes.
Spielberg wisely got rid of.
Yes, I remember
Yeah.
hearing that. Yeah, that's crazy. All right, Trent. So Joseph and I both came at your neck. It's not really fair that you got put last, but that's what it is. So what are you gonna
That-
pick with your first pick?
Hey,
Well,
that's when I go last so many times.
it's true.
This revenge.
True. It's all right. It's all right. I'm gonna take Dune Messiah in the 2026 draft and ruin Joseph's day. So
That's
it'll come
right.
back around.
That's right.
I might have to drive down to Atlanta and fight you after that one.
No, I think I got to keep it with Mr. Spielberg for my
Okay.
first pick here. And I think I got to go with Jurassic Park for my.
Yes.
I mean, this besides Jaws is probably what I would also say is like the quintessential summer movie because it's like it's set in Hawaii. Everybody's like hot and sweaty.
Mm-hmm.
There's dinosaurs, which just brings you back to like, at least for me, like being a young kid playing with dinosaur toys during summer vacation. And so I
Yeah.
think that's part of it, honestly, for me. Um, and what's great about Jurassic Park is that similar to Jaws, it's kind of a scary movie. Like it's just like they get trapped on this island and it becomes sort of a haunted mansion almost type tale of they're like, where are the T-Rex? Where are the Velociraptors? And similar to how Jaws pioneered so much stuff, Jurassic Park, same way, like pioneered a lot of stuff with CGI, and those animatronics and the way they use both of them together still hold up so perfectly. Um, and also, there's just like great bit parts from actors who I forgot are in small roles. Like Samuel L. Jackson, one of his first parts is the computer guy
Yes,
in
that's
Jurassic
right.
Park. The guy who takes Woody in Toy Story 2 plays the guy who hacks the security system, Wayne Knight. I mean, it's just, and once again, John Williams, always cooking, Mr. John Williams. So yeah, so Jaws and Jurassic Park during every summer, I kid you not, I probably watch both of them at least 5 times between like June and August because I'm just like, these are the movies of the season.
Yeah. Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, Jurassic Park is I feel like that was honestly, if Jaws was already gone and you had picked before me, Trent, this was number one for me. So
Yeah.
I knew it was gonna happen in some order like this, and it just makes sense. I mean, Jurassic Park, also just like a staple of the cultural ethos of movies. You know, like it changed so much, but like also we can quote Jurassic Park so easily. You know, the Jeff Goldblum gif in and the sound, like you said, John Williams score is just so iconic. There are shots of that movie that are just evergreen. You'll always be able to picture some of those scenes. Um and then
I mean,
seeing
like the
what
one
they,
where
yeah, go for
like
it.
the brontosaurus is coming out of the water as they
Yes.
like come over the top of the hill and the score hits. You're like, a core memory has
Yeah,
been unlocked.
yeah,
I
yeah.
still get like weirdly emotional because they get emotional like seeing it for the first
Hmm.
time, and it still works.
And that's the cool thing about it is, yeah, there is that like childlike wonder of seeing dinosaurs on screen for the first time. You know what I mean? Like it is, even though it's meant to be this terrifying film, it's like you can't help but do the same thing that the characters are doing and just like stop and watch in awe that like, whoa, this is, we've never
Well,
seen this
and then
before.
like that's the word I would use to describe Williams' score in this one is just wonder,
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
because it's so different from Jaws, where you
Yeah.
can still tell that it's the same guy, but Jaws has this like creepy horror kind of suspenseful thing, and Jurassic Park has a little bit of that, but it's mostly this like kind of lofty, whimsical theme.
Yeah.
Yeah, like this and Home Alone are probably weirdly like the happiest John Williams scores. Everything else kind of has a more somber or like
That's
straight up
true.
melancholy edge to it.
Harry Potter
Harry
has some kind
Potter,
of
I
whimsical
was thinking
stuff.
that too.
Harry Potter has a couple fun ones. That's true.
Yeah, the main theme itself to me feels like very whimsical, but um, yeah, I couldn't agree more. All right, Jurassic Park off the board.
Off the board.
Trent, you get to go back to back here.
That's right. That's right. All right, I'm gonna switch gears a little bit. You know, we said summer is fun. That seems to be a recurring word. And I think for me, the summer movie that's the most fun that I like have memorized large portions of this word for word. I got to go with The Sandlot for my second
Ah,
pick.
yep.
Um, this movie I feel like defines what it's like to be a kid in summer, where you're just like you're hanging out with friends, you're playing games, and you're like, I mean, they create a scary story for themselves about this hell beast of a dog. Um, and then also speaking of Maverick and being like patriotic watching on the 4th of July scene where they play underneath the fireworks is also a scene where you're just like, I feel so American watching this scene in this moment. And there's just a million classic things about you're killing me, Smalls, and have
Yep.
some more. How can I have some more when I've had nothing? And Wendy Peppercorn, the lifeguard. I literally just watched this the other day, and I'm like, nope, this is still like a perfect representation of what it's like to be like a 10-year-old kid in the summer.
Yep.
It's been a long time since I've watched The Sandlot. I actually was gifted it a couple years ago on DVD. Just like from the dollar bin at Walmart. And I'm like, dang, I need to throw it in. It's been so long, but I think there's also just something so summer about baseball too, that like
Yes.
very much was on my mind preparing for this draft. Is just like, yeah, baseball movies just work as summer movies. You know, it's just like, and especially the combination of baseball and being out of school. You know, it's just
Yeah.
it's
Yep.
perfect. Um, I am going to pick next, and I feel like this is in a similar spirit. My next pick, it may not be like I can't decide if this is like I feel like it was on a lot of the lists that I researched. It's a movie that I remember watching a good amount growing up. I don't know if it is as quintessentially summer to everyone else, maybe as it is to me, but uh, it definitely takes place during summer and has a key element of summer as a childhood in it. That is why I am picking The Parent Trap with my
Ooh,
second overall
Ooh.
pick.
that's a good
And
pick.
I just really the summer camp, I think it's the summer camp of it all that makes me like, yeah, this is it is the summer movie because it's just so like that is a feeling of you know, no matter what kind of camp it was, or sports camp, or theater camp, or a church camp like that you went to growing up as a kid, there's something so nostalgic about watching this movie and thinking about like staying in a cabin with strangers you don't really know well, and then like bonding with them throughout the summer. And it is yeah, it's just like and it's um I think such a it hits those summer beats so well, but also is just so sentimental and just a genuinely heartwarming film that is just a fun rewatch. You know what I mean? Like it's just it's got a high rewatchability to it, and was definitely like a childhood staple. I feel like of yeah, just like a fun family movie to watch together in the summer.
No, that's a great call. It was not on my list, but as soon as you said it, I'm like, actually, that's perfect. I mean, yeah,
Yep.
everything about the summer camp, like the poker game, and then later in the movie when they're putting Meredith, right, as the stepmother on the
Yeah.
mattress in the
Yes.
middle of the lake
Oh my
and
gosh.
all that stuff
One of the
is like so
greatest
perfect.
pranks at like like truly one of the greatest pranks in movie history, and just like one of the ones you think about when you're camping out in the woods,
Yes,
that you're like, hey, how funny would it be if we put so and so on on the air mattress and push them
right.
out in the pond? You know what I mean? Like, great. It's just hilarious. All right, Joseph, you're up next.
All right, why don't you hit me with Raiders of the Lost Ark?
All right,
Yep.
we knew it had to be done.
Yep. Actually, not my favorite Indiana Jones movie, but I think if you're looking for the one that feels most summer like, I think it's this one. Um,
Mm. Why is that?
it's, I think, just kind of the sense of adventure, and the third one has. I think this is a strength of the third one, but kind of the father son dynamic of the third one makes it not as much just a summer one.
Yeah.
Um, Raiders of the Lost Ark is like, hey, here's this cool like archaeologist dude. You know, back when archaeology was cool when you were a kid, and he's just gonna go like chase a bunch of Nazis and try to beat them. And it's just this like really quick adventure movie, very well paced.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think we've talked about Raiders before. Of like the pacing in this movie is just insanely good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know the adventure of it. You know you got the iconic scene at the beginning of the movie with like the boulder, the temple escape, and so the whole thing to me is like, oh, this is a perfect movie to watch in the summer, and it plays pretty much every summer at our local movie theater.
Yeah.
Nice.
Just because I think it fits into that kind of genre niche, whatever you want to
Yeah.
call it,
Yeah.
of like, oh, this is just a cool action adventure movie, and yeah, I think it's great.
No, this was going to be like the next thing if it was somehow still on the
Yeah.
board for me. No, it's literally so perfectly paced. I was watching this on TV a couple weeks ago because it's on Paramount like all summer.
Oh,
And
that's cool.
I was like, oh yeah, let me just watch the beginning because of the boulder. And it's like, oh, but right after this is the scene in the bar where they have the fight in the bar. And then it's like, okay, then I'll turn it off. And it's like, oh, but this is like right before they go to the Well of Souls. And then next is the convoy. It's just like every time you're like gonna turn it off, you're like, but this scene's next, and then it's like then you're just watching the end, and you're like, okay, never mind, I'm just gonna watch this whole thing.
And it's great. The I think the adventure theme of it all is it makes it perfect for the exercise we're doing of a summer draft, a summer movie draft. Because I just think it's like it is so much fun to like an adventure movie. Just it fits the vibe, similar to what we were talking about with Jurassic Park, where just like you're
Yeah.
able to kind of be in awe for a little bit of what's happening on screen. And I yeah,
Yeah.
I mean that's what I feel like that is what keeps people coming back to Indiana Jones is, people want to experience that feeling
Mhm.
watching this series. All right, you got to go back to back, Joseph. What we got next?
All right, so I actually just had this idea pop into my head, and I think I'm going to take it. But I'm going to tell you guys, except for comedies, I'll tell you what's on my board, and then I'll tell you what I'm going to take. So I have Iron Man, Spider-Man 2, Guardians of the Galaxy, Back to the Future, original Star Wars, The Dark Knight, and E.T.
Wow,
But
heavy hitters, man.
but but I just had this one pop into my head and said, you know what? This one kind of fits my vibes for oh shoot, I gave away the I thought this was my fourth pick, so I gave away the farm. Anyway, I'll pick it anyway.
Yeah,
So I gave away the draft strategy, except for the
this is professional drafting right here.
Yeah. Why don't you call me? Who's the GM of the Bears?
Yo, nah. Needs to be the Giants GM after this Hard Knocks season.
Oh my gosh, we have to talk about this
Yeah.
after the pod.
Yeah, but okay, I'll just tell you, I'm going to stick with action adventure. Give me Curse of the Black Pearl.
Okay, this is on my
Yes,
list.
okay,
so I'm
good.
glad you took it.
Great pick, Joseph. Oh, I'm so glad you picked this. Tell us why.
I mean, for a lot of the same reasons as Raiders, it's just like fun action adventure movie. You've got just this zany character in Jack Sparrow. Another really well paced movie. Villain is just like, you know, he's definitely like, okay, this guy's super evil, but you kind of get what his motivation is of like, I don't want to live forever because this sucks. But still, like, he's definitely evil, and it's one of those things like, I don't need to know why the Emperor is evil. He's just like evil.
He's just evil.
So
Yeah.
with Barbosa, it's like, oh, this is just a bad guy. So, I'll take it.
Yeah.
The kind of, I think a good theme for a summer movie is a treasure hunt.
Yep.
So I'll I'll be cool with that. Pirate ships are really cool. Cannons, it's a different form of like fighting than we had seen in a while at that point, and even one that really isn't used a whole lot today. Of like this, because even the sword fights are different than like a lightsaber fight.
Yeah. Yep.
So the way the sword fights go, you've got the fight with Jack and Will like running around in the ceiling.
Yeah.
The cool fight at the end where they're like going in and out of the moonlight and turning into skeletons and then turning back into like flesh and blood. So just insanely good movie, and I'm a bad GM. So
Instantly, one of my favorite moments on the pod is Joseph just
100%.
giving away his draft strategy to all of us. And
I was
maybe,
like,
maybe
why
it's
is he
confidence.
reciting? I was like, why is he reciting the entire draft board right now?
yeah, I thought that was my next to last pick. I didn't tell you my comedy stuff yet.
That's
though,
true.
so.
That's true. So yeah, maybe it is just overconfidence. You're just like, I'm literally crushing this. I don't care. I'm just gonna tell you anyway. Well, I get put back on the clock now, and with my third pick in the draft, to me, this is, I know Joseph just put his whole draft board out there. This wasn't one of the movies he listed though. At least as far from what I can remember. But it fits the same mold. I feel like this is a classic summer blockbuster. Um, it has become a classic summer blockbuster. When I think about like my own life growing up, this is one of the most important summer blockbusters in my life. It's extremely quotable. It has some of the most iconic scenes that I can think of when I just think of like the pop culture zeitgeist. Um, that's why I'm picking the Avengers as
Ooh,
my third
nice.
pick. I just think out of all of the Avengers movies, honestly, out of all the MCU movies, this is the most summer blockbuster right here. Because I
Yeah.
remember what it was like to be in the theater and to watch Hulk pick up Loki and smash him on the ground for the first time.
Yep.
And for to Bruce to say, like, that's my secret, I'm always angry. And then go punch the Leviathan. And then when he punches Thor on top of it, it's just like there are so many moments that like being in the theater in 2012 watching the Avengers, you're like, oh my gosh, is this really happening right now? Like I can't I and then like going throughout the rest of the summer and just like early internet having like just like the very first glimpse of memes spiraling out of the
Yep.
Avengers and people just like online being really hype about it. This was like you know one of the most special, I think, summer blockbusters of my life growing up and going to the movies. So it's got to be I knew I had to draft the Avengers at some point in this draft. So there you go.
No, I remember I was literally watching this on TV like a month ago at this point, and I texted you guys. I was like, I kind of forgot after all these years how much this movie rocks.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah,
Like I took it for granted, like
yeah.
because there was that everybody loved it in 2012, and then I don't know if you guys experienced this, but like I feel like the internet and then honestly my opinion itself was just like, man, like are we sure this movie's good? Like it's just them hanging out and cracking jokes,
Yeah.
and like the Chitauri don't actually matter. And like all that, and so like I got very like hoity-toity about that movie for a while, and then like rewatching it now, I'm just like, man, remember when like superhero movies could be just like sincerely kind of like fun and
Yes.
goofy,
Yes.
and like they actually like saved people for once instead of just
Mhm.
like a world-ending threat. I think
Yep.
that's a big thing for me is that like this movie remembers that civilians exist.
Yeah.
I know it was made fun
Yep.
of at the time, but like I actually kind of like the thread of like following the waitress throughout
Yeah.
the third act of the
Yeah.
movie. Like I think that's kind of a cool touch. Um, and honestly, like everything about the movie works. I think it's weird that I feel like Marvel has had to kind of bury the movie weirdly because of what they've done with Loki. Like they kind of want people to forget
Mm.
that like, oh yeah, didn't he try to like murder the Earth once? Or like they don't make people forget, but they try to like write it off as a joke now of like, hey, remember when I threw that temper tantrum and like took over Earth? And so I think that's almost hurt the legacy of the movie in some ways.
That's interesting.
Yeah, and I think too this was the early days of Marvel. I think this was before they went overboard with the humor because there's
Yeah.
definitely a lot of jokes, but you're kind of like these pretty much work.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like especially when you have like Tony being kind of the quip machine. Cap was still in his like I don't really know what's happening
Yep.
phase, and then Thor kind of being the fish out of water joke. And so I think the humor in it works really well without it being like over the top like some of the other Marvel movies have got. And then of course, we've been talking about um I don't remember quite in the Parent Trap, but most of these also have really great
Yeah.
scores.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so like the Avengers has another iconic
Oh,
one that
yeah.
I'm really happy because for most of their movies, Marvel would like have a score for a movie and then not bring it forward at all. And the
Yeah.
Avengers was kind of the exception to that,
Yep.
to where like it appears in pretty much all four of the movies. So, or versions of it, because Ultron changes it up a little bit. But yeah, it's a great movie that I think kind of changed the landscape of summer movies.
Yeah.
And I think if I was going to take which Marvel movies were the most influential on like the industry, it'd probably be this and Iron Man.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Absolutely. And I think this is the first Avengers movie, but it's the last one where it kind of was allowed to just exist and be its own thing without needing to connect and set up that much. Like, sure, we get the Thanos post-credit scene, but like this was just about getting the team together and like like you could watch the Avengers and not watch any other Marvel movie and have a great time. And I think this
Yep.
is one of the last times that you could really say that about a Marvel movie.
Well, it has another theme that I think goes with not all, but with some summer movies of the either getting the gang together or getting the team back
Yes.
together.
Yes.
Of
Yes.
like, all right, let's go round everybody up,
Yep.
and we're going to go on an adventure.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
You're
so
absolutely
it
right.
kind of
That's a
falls into
great
that.
call. Yep. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Trent, back on the clock. What you got
Yeah.
next?
All right. So for my third pick, there's nothing more quintessential to the summer than 4th of July. It's the big summer
Oh,
holiday.
okay.
And so, of course, this means
Mm.
Independence Day has to go off the board
That's
at some
right.
point
That's
here.
right. Great pick. I'm surprised it lasted this long, to be honest.
Me too. I was like, I don't think this will make it back to me, but if it does, I'm taking it.
Yeah.
No, this movie is fun and similar to Jurassic Park, the CGI stuff holds up like shockingly well, and they do some really cool stuff with miniatures as well for a lot of the building explosions. I mean, super quotable movie. Will Smith, Welcome to Earth, is
Yep.
like one of the best things ever.
Yep.
The president's speech is literally like the greatest speech I've ever heard in my life until like Optimus Prime at the end of Transformers, the first one.
Chill.
But yeah, no, I mean it's just everything you want. It's set during the summer, Independence Day. There's big explosions, there's some romance stuff, and then there's like humanity coming together. Like it's weirdly kind of this beautiful story of unity.
Mhm.
And also it's just great. Randy Quaid, says "up yours" and then flies into an alien spaceship, and it's just incredible. And then for my fourth pick, I think. For my last two, I know we're not on my fifth one yet, but I think I'm going to go with some modern summer movie classics.
Okay.
For the last two here. So first, I'm going to take Jumanji: Welcome to the Jungle.
Oh, okay.
Which of my hot take, as somebody who loves the original Jumanji, I actually think Jumanji: Welcome to the Jungle is better. I think the whole video game body switching concept is just so great. I love the Hawaii tropical setting. Jack Black as a teenage girl is like one of the funniest comedic decisions made in a movie in like the last 10 years. And I think this movie really surprised me. I thought it was a cash grab sequel, and it's really fun. And I end up watching I think I watch it pretty much every summer since it came out at this point.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. I wasn't sure if Jumanji was gonna make this list, but I'm glad you smuggled it in there because it's actually great. I think it's um I tend to look at it and be like, do I really like Jumanji? Really? And then you watch it and it's just like it's
Yep.
it balances the laughs perfectly. Like it
It's
just
so good, and like the whole like they have three lives, so then they get into petty arguments and they're
Yes.
like killing each other because they know they'll come back.
Yes.
But then it actually comes back as part of the narrative to get the gem to the top of the mountain. Is just like it's just good writing. Like
Yep.
it's so fun.
It's great.
Yep.
I know we didn't comment on Independence Day, but that's a great pick as well. This was also on my
Oh
list.
yeah, sorry, I kind of jumped
This is
you guys.
no, you're fine. I'm just thinking about it. Like Independence Day was on my list as one of those. Like I don't have enough memory of it to have drafted it and like spoken about it well. But it was one of those movies that made it like early impression on me. Like I watched it like I feel like pretty young again and with the family, and it's just like it is the 4th of July movie. Like that is the movie you crank up if you're gonna watch something on the 4th of July, and it's not corny or cheesy. I feel like it's like actually like really well constructed action and then like a really dramatic ending. Love yeah. Great movie right there.
I have not seen Independence Day.
Ooh.
No, it's a classic.
There you go. Hey, it's not too late. Not too late.
Never
now.
too late.
Yeah. It is.
It's
a classic.
I have seen Jumanji: Welcome to the Jungle. I have not seen. I think they did a third one, right?
They did the next level. It's
I haven't seen that one, but
it's
Welcome
enjoyable.
to the Jungle. Welcome to the Jungle was funny, and I mean the Jack Black stuff. Just
great.
Kind of speaks for itself when you watch it.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. I agree. Trent, I'm sticking with your theme of modern summer classics. And this one's very, very modern. I felt like I kind of felt like I could not pick this one.
Mm.
I'm picking Barbie here. Um,
Oh, I love it.
Okay.
because I really think this is like in the post-COVID era, like this is the summer blockbuster right here. I know I guess you could say Top Gun Maverick. It's between this and Top Gun Maverick. Um there was I upon I upon rewatch, sure, this movie may not hold up as spectacularly, but watching this in the theater for the first time, um, when after I had seen Oppenheimer in the morning and then had my evening debut of Barbie, was just one of my favorite movie going experiences. Honestly, this was like really. I think going to see Barbie on opening weekend was one of those times that, like, to your point, Trent, where you're like, I don't go on opening weekends anymore. This was a great movie to see on opening weekend because it wasn't like the whole audience was waiting for a cameo. It was
Right.
genuinely, it felt like we got to all just like sit and laugh together and be like, oh my gosh, like this is this is what I remember summer blockbusters to be, of just this like really fun, like communal experience where like the the comedy landed for me. Really, really funny movie. Ryan Gosling is cracking me up left and right. The production of this movie is incredible. The colors of this movie make it
Yeah.
especially such a great summer movie. It is just like Greta Gerwig did a just phenomenal job directing this, and her vision for creating Barbie Land is still one of the most impressive things that I feel like we've seen in Hollywood. So yeah, I think regardless of critically how people kind of land on two sides of Barbie now, I do think this will live on for a very long time as,
For
just
sure.
epitome summer blockbuster.
I mean, at a bare minimum, like I think, the fact that like I'm Just Ken was
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
arguably the song of the summer, it felt like, for a period of 2023.
Yeah.
Um
Yeah.
is insane. And you're right, just like the sets are so fun, and obviously like Ken's whole thing is beach, and so that
Yeah.
is just like a perfect summer thing. And like you're saying, just seeing an original movie that was making people laugh and have fun, like that's what summer movies were about for like the longest time. It
Yeah.
wasn't about like, hey, the cinematic universe. It was like, hey, let's just create a space where people can have a good time for 2 hours.
Mhm.
So that's a great pick.
Yeah. Thank you, Joseph. Back to you, my good man.
All right. I think
No one took any
I
of your picks,
will.
by the way. I don't think.
No,
I
I think
don't
you
think
they
so.
survived.
didn't.
I think you
So
survived
so
the laughs and
I'll
judgment.
save my comedy for my last, since you've already heard my other picks. But I think I will take Back to the Future.
All right.
Nice.
All right.
Another just fun adventure thing with a cool um, mechanic of, you don't really know how the time machine works, and it doesn't matter at all.
No.
Like Back to the Future is from a time when like you didn't have to explain how everything worked in the movie. It's like, oh yeah, I invented a time machine, so we're gonna go, and it's in a car, and so yeah, we're gonna do this, and the time machine is just kind of side thing to the story
Yeah.
of, really it's the story of Marty trying to get home
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
all the little hijinks and shenanigans that he gets into. A little bit strange with his younger version of his mom. I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of
Well,
weird,
a little weird.
but I think it's just another movie that you sit down and you're like, you know what, this is a fun movie. It's not one that I think you turn your brain off for, but it's kind of like, okay, the mechanics of it are not important. You sit down and it's about him like appreciating what he's got, and then also like completely changing it, and yeah, just a super fun movie. Um, so, you guys got anything on Back to the Future before we go to my
So
comedy?
I'm silent because I have to admit I've never seen Back to the Future.
Oh my
Oh
gosh.
man,
It's I mean, we have now pretty much done all the big adventure films, which I'm proud that we did. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, all right, Jaws has to be on this board somehow. Indiana Jones, Back to the Future, and I honestly thought I was like, Black Pearl should be on this list. So I'm glad all of those got covered.
I don't know how I haven't seen this one, or if I have, I don't remember it because it was that long ago.
Well, it's on Netflix now.
It is. Yes. I know. I saw it.
Great movie.
I almost watched it this weekend. I think it will happen soon. To be honest, I don't know which Back to the Future this is from, but like my knowledge of Back to the Future is that it almost guessed the correct year the Cubs would win the World Series.
That's 2, I think.
Yeah, because that's the one with the sports almanac.
Yeah.
Yep. To 1 year away. They said 2015, and we were so close, but we got it 1 year later.
There you go.
Yeah.
And there's like controversy with like whether the sequel. I think Back to the Future 2 is pretty much universally loved, and then there's Back to the Future 3, and I'm like, I had a good time with it. I like that one.
Interesting.
I like 3. I like 3 a lot.
Yeah, I have a good time with it. Now, my last pick, my comedy. If you were to tell me to give you a movie that is definitive of my summer as a kid,
Okay.
it's this comedy. We watched this comedy multiple times every summer, and we were like, this is the summer movie for us.
Okay.
Good Burger.
Really?
Ooh, I've actually never seen this.
I haven't either. Joseph, please enlighten us.
Yeah, please educate.
So, it is not the greatest movie ever. It is not the funniest movie ever. But me and my sister and the 2 other kids my mom babysat, we watched this every summer. Like every summer without fail, sometimes multiple times. So the premise of Good Burger is it's about a guy, or Kenan Thompson is working a summer job at a burger joint to pay for some trouble he got into. And Kel from Kenan and Kel plays Ed, and he's like his friend at the burger place, and it's like one of the most hilariously dumb comedies I've ever seen, but it's so funny, and just every year we would watch it. So this one,
that's so funny.
This one just has a special place in my heart looking back on my childhood.
There you go.
Wow. I love that you picked from the heart there. Did you see Good Burger 2? Did you see the second one that just came out?
I haven't seen it yet.
All right. I haven't either, but I just feel like, I need to know, would young Joseph approve,
I think you guys would both enjoy Good Burger, but as you're watching it, you would be like, this is insane. This is pretty out there. There is a point in the movie where they get into a insane asylum. Nice.
Yeah.
And it's a movie about a summer job at a burger joint. So just like take that for what you will.
Yeah.
I love
it. It's weird.
Well, I'm tempted to give it a try now for sure.
Yeah, me too.
For my last pick, I am similarly picking from the heart, and this is definitely a weird movie. I don't even know that it necessarily takes place in the summer. I actually couldn't tell you that for sure, but it feels like it should in my memory. And it also just feels like a summer movie that you watch. I say that because this is one of the first movies like I remember when I like in high school, like never had a TV in my room. But I feel like senior year, I got one in my room, or like I had my laptop and had streaming service set up on it. And I'm like, I'm going to watch a movie by myself tonight. You know what I mean? This was the movie I picked. And then a few years ago, we actually went over to some friends' house who have a projector that they will put up in their backyard every now and then and do like summer movie nights in the backyard. And this is the movie we watched. So I feel like that's why it feels summer to me. But I am picking the movie Hot Rod, starring Andy Samberg, and it is it's just like I don't know why it's like become one of my favorite little like stupid comedies that is just
Yes.
like I feel like it's there's a part of it that I think speaks especially to me and probably like our generation too is because of Lonely Island, because of Andy Samberg's like
Yeah.
ascension through SNL, like kind of at the time where we're like growing up through high school and middle school. That like the humor in this movie just like really works for me, even though it's just like so dumb. But I don't know why. It's just like I love it, and that the well, I think what makes it feel summer to me too is that final scene where he makes the jump at the rally. It's just
Hmm.
so ridiculous.
It's so perfect.
It's so perfectly crafted, and it feels like a summer activity of just in this random town that people are coming out to watch Andy Samberg's character make this ridiculous bike jump. Um, have you guys both seen Hot Rod?
I have many times.
Okay, I got you.
No,
Yep.
no, I have not.
I
Oh,
highly recommend it. It's just a fun watch. I mean, Trent,
no,
what would you say?
no, it's funny that you said like watch it on my laptop because like I had a similar ish experience where I'd seen it before, and then I was at like my friend's house when we were younger, like we were like 11, and like we were supposed to be asleep, but I was like, hey, I have my iPad,
Yeah, yeah.
like, and we like rigged a way to like lean the iPad up against some books, and I was like, I'm gonna show you Hot Rod,
I love it.
and like the scene where he like rolls down the hill
Yeah,
for like 3 minutes.
so long.
I've to this day I've never heard my friend laugh as hard as he
Ah,
did at that clip.
I love it.
So between that, the first stunt we see him do where he tries to jump the mail truck and he
Oh,
just like annihilates his back is
yes.
both like simultaneously the most painful and funny thing I've seen.
Yep.
For context here, Joseph, the plot of this movie is that Andy Samberg is a amateur stuntman
Yep.
who is not good at being a stuntman and who regularly gets into full-on fistfights with his stepfather. And then he learns that his stepfather needs a heart replacement and is going to raise money by doing stunts, including jumping like 16 school buses or whatever. I forget what the number of
Yeah,
buses
it's
is.
it's something like that though.
So, so he's Travis Pastrana, but a failure.
Yes.
Yes, correct.
This movie is like it's using the knowledge of like the Rocky sports underdog story
Yes.
formula, but it has the most absurd jokes in it. Will Arnett also
Yep.
is like hilarious. He plays like this terrible mean boyfriend to Isla Fisher's character,
Yes,
and like
yep.
the way he says "babe" in one scene. Josh, do you know what I'm
Yes,
talking about?
yes,
Like,
I do. Yeah.
like that lives in my head rent free. Like,
Oh, it's so
and so
good.
just so often. No,
Bill
this movie's
Hader
hilarious.
too is great.
Bill Hader's
Yep,
great.
Yep.
No, highly recommend.
Yep.
If there's any like nostalgia for early 2000s, the Lonely Island, SNL, that stuff.
Yep.
Anybody who hasn't watched it in a while or hasn't seen it ever, big recommend.
Absolutely. All right, Trent, you get this. Take us home. What you got
All
for your
right.
final pick here?
I'm torn between two because I'm torn between what I think is an important blockbuster and then a recent movie that I think epitomizes summer better. So I think I'm going to go with that one.
Oh, okay.
Because I don't think people are going to talk about it enough. This is a movie from this year, actually. I'm going to go with The Fall Guy as my final
Really?
pick.
Okay. Oh, I'm so glad you made this pick, Trent. I watched it a couple weeks ago, so it's fresh in my mind. What you got to say about The Fall Guy?
I mean, this is a movie about movies. It's about how awesome movies are, and more importantly, how like stunt people are the underappreciated or not appreciated heroes of stunt movies. So for anybody who doesn't know, Ryan Gosling plays a stuntman who was in a relationship with Emily Blunt, who was a cinematographer on a movie they were working on. He suffers this traumatic accident that like shakes his confidence. He sort of breaks up with Emily Blunt. Years later, a producer finds him and is like, hey, Emily Blunt is directing a movie now, but the star of her movie has disappeared. Would you help her find him and save the movie before the studio shuts her down? And while he's doing this investigation, he uncovers sort of this criminal conspiracy. And over the course of the movie, it's about him trying to solve this mystery, work on the movie Emily Blunt's working on, and sort of repair his relationship with her. And through the course of the movie, it's this whole celebration of stunts. Like pretty much every type of movie stunt that's existed
Yes.
since like the 50s is displayed in some form or fashion in this movie. And it's just such a sincere, open-hearted love letter to movie making and stunts and just summer blockbusters and having a good time this is not like my favorite movie of 2024, but it's so far easily the most fun I've had
Oh
with a
yeah,
movie
yeah.
in 2024.
So I have not seen it, but with it being kind of a love letter to action movies and stuff, does it have the Wilhelm scream in it?
Oh,
I think it does. I'm
does
pretty sure
it?
it does.
Okay,
Yes.
I need to.
Because
It's hidden.
that seems to have died out mostly.
Yeah,
But
yeah, no, I think it's hidden somewhere, and I think I know where it is. I might have to rewatch it to
I'm
to check.
I'm kind of sad it's not in Star Wars anymore
Yeah,
Yeah, I do miss it. I miss it in Star Wars.
because like yeah, it's kind of a dumb sound effect, but it's so like
It's
iconic to Star
iconic.
Wars.
It's iconic.
I mean, it's as iconic to Star Wars as like I have a bad feeling about this.
Oh yeah, for sure.
yeah.
Trent, the Fall Guy, great pick. I'm glad you brought it up because I haven't really talked to anyone about this movie, and
Well, and that's also why I picked it. I'm like, when am I gonna have an opportunity to talk about this again?
yeah,
Probably not. So
yeah,
it's like let's shed some love on a movie that bombed at the box office that should not have bombed. I think if that movie was allowed to stay in theaters a little bit longer,
yeah.
it really would have become a word of mouth movie because it's just a
Yes.
fun one to watch with a group.
Did you watch it at home or in the theater?
I actually saw it in the theaters like right before they announced
Oh,
that it was
really?
going to be on like video on
Okay.
demand. Like Emily, Matt, and I went on a whim, and we had a great time.
That's awesome.
And then they were like, "Hey, guess what? This is going to be on DVD." And it's like, "Oh well, whoops."
I think it's done pretty well on VOD though. I think there's a lot of
I think it has. I've seen more love for it. I know like all the Ringer people
yeah,
really like
seem to
Fennessy
really
and
love
Dobbins
it.
had a
Yeah.
good time.
Yeah. It's a great. I'm a little sad I didn't see it in the theater because it feels perfect for that. It feels built for that. Especially the fact that it's about stunt people that you would just wish it was like appreciated in the theater. But it's a really fun movie, and I think another example of why Ryan Gosling is a comedy king. And would love to just continue to see him in whatever he wants to do. But
Yep.
I think it's for me it was learning about like all the crap that stunt people go through making movies that just really makes it worth the watch for me. Where it's like, yeah, this is an art form that we don't talk about a lot. There's a line in the movie where they're like, one of the characters asks a question: "Do stunt people get nominated for Oscars?" And it's
Yeah.
like, no, they don't. And I'm like, make that an award now. Like
Yeah.
I would love a stunt person award at the Oscars. That'd be so cool.
No, I mean, and after this movie came out, like the conversations about it getting a category got more serious. So like a lot of people think this movie was made in part to like move that conversation forward, and it seems to have worked in that respect. So.
I love it. I love it.
I don't know how you would evaluate that though.
This is what people talk. It's like, do you reward John Wick, where it's like a movie's worth of cool stunts, or do you do Mission Impossible, where Tom Cruise jumped off a cliff and could have died? Like it's like,
Yeah.
it's like, how do you
Well,
balance those two things?
It's kind of like when they were talking a few years ago about like the motion capture ones. Like, oh, well, I mean, that's just the Andy Serkis award.
Right.
So
Right. Yeah. Well, that's gonna complete our draft, guys. Let's go. Let's run back through the teams, and I want to see if we had any like honorable mentions here. Joseph, your team is your roster movies for your summer draft is Top Gun Maverick, Raiders of the Lost Ark, Pirates of the Caribbean, Curse of the Black Pearl, Back to the Future, and Good Burger. My roster movies was Jaws, The Parent Trap, The Avengers, Barbie, and Hot Rod. And then Trent, you had Jurassic Park, The Sandlot, Independence Day, Jumanji, and The Fall Guy. I think this is a pretty even debate right
so.
here.
I think we all got some classics. We all have some deep cuts, and then we all have personal favorites, which is what you want.
Yeah.
I think this is one of the most balanced drafts we've ever
think
done.
so.
I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, I don't see a clear winner necessarily right here. Joseph, I'm not gonna lie, looking at your list, I'm like, those are all like up until Good Burger, they're all bangers of like these are classic blockbusters right here.
And that's just because you haven't seen Good Burger yet. So,
Yeah,
you know.
exactly.
Right, that's it. That's the only reason. Any honorable mentions that there's one movie that I'm surprised did not get picked.
I was so torn about whether to put Mad Max Fury Road on this
Oh,
list.
okay.
That was on there for me. Fast Five as like the most
Yep.
summary of the Fast and Furious was on there.
Yep.
And honestly, like kind of a guilty pleasure, kind of a childhood nostalgia pick. I'm being mostly serious when I say that. Like High School Musical 2 weirdly has
Yes.
become like
Oh
a
Yes.
fun
no,
it's become a fun summer watch. Hate all you want, but like
High School Musical 2 is trash.
Whoa,
it's the
whoa, whoa,
whoa,
whoa,
it's
whoa,
the
whoa.
it's the best of the trilogy. What are you
No,
talking
it
about?
is. No, it is not. It is the worst
Joseph,
of
what
the
are we?
trilogy.
What are you doing here? Oh, we
right,
might
we're-
we might actually have our first fight in the podcast. This is
All right,
High School-
all right. We have a podcast episode. We're gonna
yeah.
watch the whole trilogy, and then we're gonna
Please don't make me watch High School Musical 2.
Oh, I'm
we
going
might
to.
need an episode on just that alone.
Josh, are you with me on this? High School Musical 2?
100%. Yes, I've only seen the first two, by the way, but
I like the third one.
Third one's fun.
but High School Musical 2, come on now. That is like, I mean, I grew up on that. I grew up on, like, I could name you every scene from that movie.
We just learned this week Zac Efron improvised the whole
Yes.
bet on it dance sequence.
Yes,
My
You
guy.
can tell.
all improv. I
Pure
mean,
artistry and creation here.
you might
is-
see it as cheap, but I see it as Picasso painting. You know, I see it as Michelangelo. I see it as, you know,
Great
That-
art is
that-
not appreciated in its time. That's
Exactly.
what we're learning.
That movie is laughable and not in a good way. I do not like this. I
it's-
do not like High
it's
School
just-
Musical 2.
It's so good to laugh at. I feel great about it.
Yes.
I
feel-
I legit think this might need to be a debate we have.
I'd rather watch Jump In.
Jump In is another DCOM classic, actually, though.
It is.
Mhm.
Joseph,
Let me hit you with another one.
Yeah.
Minutemen.
Minute, like actual
I
kind of.
never-
love
watch that?
Minutemen.
That's like weirdly
Who's in
hard
that? Which one is
sci-fi
that?
for a. That's the one where they're time travelers.
I don't know if I saw that
They,
one.
they build a time machine under the football field.
Yes.
Yeah, I missed that one. Sky High, though, I'll tell you, Sky High was
Oh,
the-
yeah. Sky High was.
Sky High, like I don't. Wait, is that technically a DCOM? I think that was just
No,
Disney.
I think it's just
it's
Disney. Yeah.
But that's like that is a good pick of like a Disney thing that wasn't a full on like official
Disney thing.
Yeah.
film that is
yeah.
great.
Yes.
Supposedly they're making a sequel. Like the guy, the
I
creator
wish.
talked about it. He was like, I have the pitch.
I would
Like,
kind of be down for that, honestly.
it Sky High holds up great. I rewatched it with Emily and Matt like during the pandemic.
Oh,
as a
really?
comfort watch, and
Oh,
it
that's
was
awesome.
and we're like, this works.
Yeah, I agree.
Give me Camp Rock over High School Musical 2.
Now that is downright terrible. I
enjoy sections
now
of
here's
Camp
the thing.
Rock.
Did I have the Camp Rock DVD or I'm sorry, CD like of the soundtrack and listen to it like before going to bed as a child? Yes, I did. I am ashamed to say that now. But it's not High School Musical 2 in my books. We gotta talk about this. I'm feeling I'm feeling riled up right now.
Well, this works because High School Musical 1 was drafted in our sports movie draft.
Thank you, Zachary.
So this is our destiny.
That's true.
Our destiny is to eventually do an in-depth analysis
That's
of the
true.
High School
I
Musical
think
trilogy.
that is our destiny. Yeah.
See, the first High School Musical to me is like, that's got to be like top 3 or 5 DCOM. I mean,
Yes.
My favorite one, Luck of the Irish. But,
Ooh, Luck of the Irish is a good one.
But yeah, first High School Musical was that was an experience.
It was an
It
experience.
changed
Agreed.
lives.
It's a classic.
I mean,
I would argue
it pretty much changed every DCOM to be a musical since then.
Pretty much.
Yeah, that is true. Joseph, do you have any honorable mentions you didn't get to draft?
I think a shout out to like the first Transformers movie.
Yeah,
Ooh, yeah, that's a good
Um,
one.
I'm trying to think what else. E.T., another like
That's
classic.
the one I was shocked to not get picked. But
I think I weirdly associate that one with Halloween just because of the
Mm.
Halloween scene. But I
Okay.
have no issue with it being
Yeah.
picked. But I
Yeah.
think that's why I
Yeah.
didn't have it in my brain.
But yeah, I think something like a Transformers is a good summer movie.
Yeah. I had a pretty extensive list here. Incredibles. I felt like The
Ooh, yeah,
Incredibles
that's a good
kind of
pick.
fits as a summer movie. I 50 First Dates, Adam
Ooh,
Sandler. I
underrated Sandler.
underrated Adam Sandler for sure.
Grown ups.
Grown Ups was on my list as well. Napoleon Dynamite also kind of just feels summery. Spider-Man
Yeah,
Far From
it's
Home.
definitely.
Spider-Man Far From
Ooh,
Home.
yeah, true summer trip.
The summer trip. I was close on that one. And then Nope. I don't know if that really is like summer,
I,
but
I'd go there. I
it
mean, it's with it's Jaws.
that's
Like
what I'm that's what I'm saying.
like Jordan Peele remade Jaws and it wasn't stupid. And I
Yeah.
feel like people don't talk about that enough.
No, they really don't. I need to go back and rewatch that movie because it got completely forgotten about, shut out of the Oscars race that year.
I will be honest. I first watched it and I was like, I don't know how I feel about it. Watched it a second time and I was like, oh, this is one of my favorite movies from 2022.
That's how I think that's how I would feel if I rewatched it because it's one of those movies that sticks with you and you think about it a lot after
Yes.
watching it for, one time. Yeah. Anyway, we got some I have one question to ask before we wrap up about our
Yeah.
list here. In the era of Top Gun Maverick is the first pick on this draft. In the era of Top Gun Maverick, Twisters, and Gladiator 2, would you be happy to see any of these classic summer blockbusters get a sequel? I guess Jurassic Park already has a million sequels, but any of the other ones on this list, would you be mad about them getting a sequel?
Would I be mad or happy?
Sorry, happy.
That's a good question. I
All
depending on
all of mine have sequels or are sequels. So
That's true.
depending
So
on
I'm
how
thinking,
they
okay, maybe not sequels, but like a reboot. So like, Creed to Rocky or like Jurassic World to Jurassic Park.
the,
wasn't there a Sandlot too?
there was like 2 or 3 of them, but they were all like direct to DVD. But yeah, I've seen the second one. That was gonna be my pick. Like I think a Sandlot Legacy sequel in the
Yep.
era of digital where it's like I don't know, the kids' phones are all broken or they're all addicted to social media, so their parents are like, "We're taking phones and you have to go play baseball."
That's an excellent idea.
Like I would watch.
I would totally watch that.
I mean, I guess I'd be kind of down for like another Pirates of the Caribbean movie
Yeah.
if they can pull it off. I don't know if we're going to see another Jack Sparrow one, but
Yeah. Yeah, like
I think they could. I think they could do another like pirate adventure movie.
Yeah. I mean, we talked about it when we did the Hall of Fame episode. Like, we miss pirate movies.
We do.
It would be a lot of fun.
Gladiator 2 is reminding people movies with swords are just better.
Are just dope. Exactly. Yeah, I feel like
Honestly, I think too if they did like Top Gun Rooster. I mean,
Which they're supposedly working on Top Gun 3.
That
Glenn
is true.
Chow's been teasing it.
Yep.
He's like, we have some ideas.
Yep.
Tom's kicking around ideas.
Top Gun Hangman. I'd watch it.
I'd be down. I think
Top Gun Bob.
Top Gun Bob.
Top Gun Bob. Bob was cool.
Bob for the win.
Bob
Absolutely.
was cool. I like Bob. Yeah, I think about I see like people make fake Back to the Future 4 like trailers, thumbnails with like Tom Holland as Marty McFly, and I'm just like, yeah, no thanks. I haven't seen those movies, but I already know I don't want that.
I don't need any sequels to Back to the Future.
No, it was so weird at the time.
Yeah.
That, like I genuinely don't think you could recreate what made it work.
Yeah. Similar to you with the Sandlot, I think a Parent Trap sequel. Well, is there a Parent Trap sequel?
They're doing Freaky Friday, and
That's
then they
right,
keep
that's
asking Lindsay Lohan
Yeah,
about
about
Parent
Parent
Trap
Trap.
while they're
Yep.
asking her about Freaky Friday too.
Yep.
So I think that could happen in some way.
It could be cool, but your idea for the Sandlot Legacy sequel would be honestly really dope. I think it's a great idea. There's some of these things that make sense, and then some of them don't. Like I think that's just.
I mean, I haven't seen Barbie either, but I feel like they want to make that into a franchise.
They want to make it so bad, and Margot Robbie and Greta Gerwig so far have been like so not interested. But I wonder if the dump truck of money gets parked at some point.
That does not need to happen. Barbie is special because it it exists as its own thing.
I
If
agree.
they try and make a Barbie, if they try and make a Ken spinoff movie, I'm not watching that. Like
Well, they're already trying to make like a Hot Wheels movie, so you know,
which
and I
you
think a
know, like
Tetris
it
movie.
could work if you're doing a different genre, but I just am like, I don't need Ken the musical. I just don't. I like let it be its own thing. It was a wonderful invention by Greta Gerwig. Please don't make her go back to like create more.
Yeah.
Yep.
Agreed.
Well, I think that's gonna wrap our podcast, guys. That was
Yeah, this was a lot of fun. Thank you guys for doing
Yep.
this.
yeah, this is great. Great to see you both as always. Thank you all as always for listening to this podcast, and you can subscribe to us wherever you get your podcast. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on social media at the Stinger Pod, and you'll hear from us next to review Deadpool and Wolverine. We can't wait to talk to you again soon.